Ever wondered if a beaver's tail could tickle your taste buds? Well, some folks in colonial America did. Ah, the humble beaver tail. Not the first thing that springs to mind when you're rummaging in the fridge for a snack, is it? But picture this. You're a colonial settler in America, the land of opportunity, and you're feeling a bit peckish. The squirrels are too quick, the buffalo are too big, but there's a beaver just minding his own business, and you think, why not? So you roast up a beaver tail, and let me tell you, it's got a certain gamey charm, but mostly it's just fat. Imagine tucking into a rat, only it's mostly blubber. That's right, you're essentially chewing on rat fat. Delicious, isn't it? But wait, there's more, because with every bite of beaver tail, you're playing a risky game of culinary roulette. One wrong move and hello, Giardia. Nothing like a spot of intestinal infection to really get the party started. It's a wonder that beaver tails didn't become a staple of American cuisine, isn't it? I mean, who wouldn't want a dish that combines the delightful flavors of gamey rat fat with the thrill of potential illness? But let's not be too harsh. After all, these were the culinary pioneers of their time. The daring gastronomes who looked at a beaver's tail and thought, yes, this is what dinner looks like. We owe them a debt of gratitude, for they paved the way for all the weird and wonderful dishes we enjoy today. So, next time you're feeling adventurous in the kitchen, why not give a nod to history and roast up a beaver tail? Or, maybe just stick to pizza. So, if you're ever in the mood for a chewy, gamey dish, you might want to consider a beaver's tail or not. Who needs lobsters when you can have eel pie? At least that's what people in New England thought. Yes, you heard that right. In a time when lobsters were as cherished as the socks you lost in the laundry, the slippery, slimy eel was the star of the culinary show. Now, I know what you're thinking. Eel pie? Really? But let's take a stroll down the memory lane of gastronomy, shall we? Back in the day, our New England ancestors didn't bat an eyelid before using lobsters. Yes, those succulent, butter-dripping crustaceans we pay top dollar for today, as bait to catch eels. Talk about irony. The eel, you see, was a coveted catch, a culinary treasure, as it were. This slithery sea creature, which many today might find, shall we say, less than appealing, was once as cherished as a bar of gold. You'd think they'd have grilled it or maybe smoked it, but oh no, they went a step further. They baked it into a pie. Just imagine it. You're sitting at a dinner table, your fork poised over a golden flaky crust. You slice into it, and instead of a filling of apples or blueberries, out slithers a chunk of eel meat. It's a picture that would certainly make a modern foodie squirm, but let's not be too hasty in our judgment. After all, tastes change. What's considered a delicacy in one era might be deemed, well, rather peculiar in another. And who are we to scoff at the culinary choices of our forebears? They were just making do with what they had, and what they had apparently were lobsters aplenty and a fondness for eel pie. So next time you're enjoying a lobster dinner, spare a thought for the humble eel, once the star of the dinner table. And perhaps just maybe give a silent toast to the adventurous spirit of our ancestors who weren't afraid to turn a slimy sea creature into a pie. After all, they say variety is the spice of life. How about some whale vomit with your eggs? Turns out that was quite the combo back in the day. Welcome to the peculiar world of historical gourmet, where the bizarre becomes the beloved. Today, we're diving into the deep end, quite literally, with a delicacy that might just turn your stomach. Ambergris, or as it's more commonly known, whale vomit. Now I know what you're thinking. Whale vomit? Surely you jest. But oh dear listeners, I jest not. This sea-soaked substance was once the creme de la creme of culinary additives. It was used in a variety of dishes, from your morning eggs to your evening hot chocolate. Imagine, if you will, a time when people would look at their breakfast and think, you know what this needs? A dollop of digestive byproduct from a massive sea mammal. It's a thought that would make most modern foodies recoil in horror, but back then it was the height of sophistication. And it wasn't just eggs that got the ambergris treatment. Beverages too were graced with this oceanic offering. Nothing says cheers like a splash of whale vomit in your drink, am I right? But perhaps the most surprising use of this substance was in hot chocolate. Yes, you heard that correctly. Forget marshmallows, forget whipped cream. In the olden days, It was all about that sweet, sweet ambergris. One can only imagine the advertising slogan, hot chocolate, now with 100% more whale vomit. Now, I don't know about you, but I think I'll stick to my Cocoa Sans cetacean sick, but it's interesting, isn't it? The lengths to which our ancestors went for a unique flavor experience. Truly, the human palate knows no bounds when it comes to exploring the culinary unknown. So if your hot chocolate is missing that special something, maybe some whale vomit is the answer. Or maybe not. Ice cream, sweet, refreshing, and flavored with eels and asparagus. Let's dive into the chilly world of 18th century ice cream, a time when dessert wasn't just a treat, but an adventure for the brave. Imagine this. It's the mid-18th century. Ice cream has just been introduced to colonial America. But hold on to your bonnets and tricorn hats, folks, because this isn't the vanilla chocolate strawberry trifecta you're used to. No, these early frozen delights came in flavors that would make even the most adventurous foodie today raise an eyebrow. First on the menu, we have eel-flavored ice cream. Yes, you heard that right, eel. Those slippery, serpentine sea creatures that were once the star of the dinner table, now gracing your dessert. One can only imagine the surprise of biting into a cool, creamy scoop, only to be met with the distinct taste of fish. Following closely behind, we have the sophisticated asparagus ice cream. You know, for those who want to feel healthy while indulging their sweet tooth. The asparagus, once reserved for fancy dinner parties and high-class events, had found its way into the frozen world of desserts. The taste, well, let's just say it's an acquired one. And let us not forget the chestnut ice cream, a flavor that might not seem so outrageous today, but in the 18th century it was a wild card. It's like taking a casual stroll through the park, only to stumble upon a squirrel's secret stash in your ice cream cone. And there you have it, folks. The unusual, the unheard of, the downright bizarre flavors that graced the ice cream parlors of yesteryears. Makes you appreciate your mint chocolate chip a little more, doesn't it? But remember, these flavors, as strange as they may seem to us, were a sign of the times. They reflected the local cuisine, the available ingredients, and the adventurous spirit of the 18th century foodies. So next time you're complaining about the weird flavors at your local ice cream parlor, remember it could be eel-flavored. Scene script. Ever looked at a pig's foot and thought, now that would make a great jelly? No? Well, some people did. Picture this. You're at a grand feast, and the pièce de résistance is trotted out, resplendent in all its gelatinous glory. It's not a fancy trifle or a delicately layered mousse. Oh no, it's a wobbly tower of feet jelly, shimmering like a culinary mirage made from the hooves of calves, horses, pigs or sheep. Yes, dear friends, those brave or perhaps foolhardy souls of yesteryears saw those keratinous hooves and thought, that's dessert material right there. Now you might be thinking, really? Hoof jelly? Who came up with that? Well, the practice of boiling down animal feet for gelatin has been around for centuries, from Europe to Asia, and even parts of the US. The collagen-rich hooves made a base for a dish that was, if not exactly mouth-watering, at least resourceful. Fast forward to today, and the closest thing we have is Jello. Yes, that's right. The wobbly, colourful, fruit-flavoured dessert of our childhoods is a distant cousin of hoof jelly. And you thought lime was an adventurous flavour. And let's not forget about other delightful dishes from around the world. In Thailand, they would puff up maggots and crunch on them like popcorn. In some parts of Asia, a plate of fried rat would be garnished with cockroaches. Talk about a protein overload. Meanwhile, the Romans had a certain fondness for mice and rats, which they consumed daily along with their pigs. And those pigs, they were fed and fattened on Roman excrement. Now there's a recycling program that really puts your compost bin to shame. So the next time you're standing in front of the dessert aisle, contemplating the myriad Jello flavors, remember its historical origins. Maybe instead of cherry or grape, you'll be inspired to whip up a batch of hoof jelly. After all, as they say, everything old is new again. So if you're tired of the same old Jello flavors, why not try a hoof? It's sure to be a unique experience. Let's move forward from the historic hoof jelly to the contemporary world. You may be surprised to find out that some of our favorite sweet treats still carry the legacy of those hooves. Yes, we're talking about your beloved Jello and Marshmallows. How did we get from feet jelly to these colourful, sugary delights, you ask? Well, sit tight because it's a jiggly journey. Modern gelatin, the primary ingredient in Jello and Marshmallows, is still derived from animal collagen. It's a process that involves boiling down animal parts, including hooves, until they release their protein-rich goodness. But don't worry, there's no foot jam in your strawberry Jello. The gelatin is purified, processed and flavoured with sugar, fruit flavours and other chemicals to give us the sweet, fruity, wobbly desserts we know and love today. So you see, the fruit-flavoured Jello or the soft, fluffy marshmallows you enjoy around the campfire are not so different from the hoof jelly of yesteryears. While the thought might seem a bit unappetizing, it's a testament to our culinary creativity and resourcefulness. We've taken a base ingredient that was once the center of a bizarre dessert and transformed it into something universally loved. And it's not just about the taste. The vibrant colors, the fun shapes, the wobbly texture, all contribute to the appeal of these sweet treats. So, the next time you're enjoying a bowl of Jello or roasting a marshmallow, take a moment to appreciate the long, strange journey it's been on. From hoof to bowl, it's a tale of culinary evolution that's as fascinating as it is delicious.